What's up, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Tron Ares, the new science fiction film starring Jared Leto and Greta Lee. This is, of course, the third Tron film following up Tron Legacy, which came out way back in 2010, which, of course, was the long-awaited sequel to the original Tron from 1982. This has been a IP in quotes that has never really established itself as this massive brand, this massive property. That being said, it's a Disney property now, and Tron Light Cycle is a really successful and popular ride at Magic Kingdom at least two Disney Worlds that I know of. I'm not sure how many parks it's at in total. Makes sense that Disney would want to kickstart the Tron IP again on the big screen as part of a synergistic play for their brands and things of that nature. Don't know how many people have necessarily been clamoring for another Tron film, despite the fact that Tron Legacy, with the benefit of hindsight, $400 million box office performance, pretty darn good nowadays for a science fiction film, and has some appealing aspects to it, notably directed by Joseph Kosinski, who we now regard as one of our great action auteurs following Top Gun Maverick and F1 the movie, scored by none other than the now retired Daft Punk. Quite a compelling soundtrack. I think visually the film really popped and was quite impressive. And the stars of that film, played by Garrett Hedlund and Olivia Wilde, their characters do not return to Tron Ares. We do see a little bit of course, the original star of the franchise, Jeff Bridges, who was also in Legacy. He is in this film Ares just a little bit, but really it's a brand new one. Tron Ares gets the job done as a new Tron film, but it does so in pretty unspectacular fashion. Nothing super memorable about this movie, but also nothing aggressively bad about it either. The idea of bringing the Tron world into our real world, a flip on the original concept of going into the grid, going into the virtual world of Tron, decent premise, but we don't get anything that original as a result. Jared Leto's natural stoicism is actually a really good fit for playing an AI character attempting to search for and understand what humanity means. Greta Lee, nice paycheck after past lives, aggressively overqualified for what this role actually is in this movie. Plot-wise, nothing surprising about what transpires. Visually, looks okay, not as sleek as Tron Legacy. The score from Nine Inch Nails is pretty good and fitting, but not as good as Daft Punk from Tron Legacy. There's some okay set pieces here, nothing is quite as compelling as what Kosinski does with Legacy. You sense the theme here. It's okay. The movie's pretty muted box office performance suggests that this might be the last Tron movie, certainly the last one for the foreseeable future. The best action sequence in the movie is towards the beginning. It's this light cycle chase between Greta Lee and Jared Leto. And I think the initial premise of what's going on here, where you have these two tech titan corporations, both trying to achieve this kind of breakthrough in sustaining, artificial life and kind of 3D printing it with these particle lasers into our reality, trying to achieve this breakthrough where they can't get past 29 minutes before the creation, degrades. That's like a pretty solid, early premise and early MacGuffin, the search for this permanence code. I think all that works pretty well, and it lends itself nicely to that original, early on, light cycle chase, because there's a race against the clock for the bad guys in this case. But there's that ultimate push-pull where Jared Leto's going to break bad against his employer, but break good as a moral character, and end up aligning with Greta Lee's character, who is the CEO of the company that's racing against Evan Peters' tech company, which of course is creating Jared Leto and Jared Leto's colleague, Athena, played by Jodie Turner-Smith. So it's the board is there, it's fine. I think Greta Lee's character, Eve, has this since deceased sister that's, kind of motivating her, but that stuff is not really that developed all that much. Gillian Anderson plays the mother of Evan Peters' Julian Dillinger, and really thankless part, honestly, and the motivations of Julian Dillinger as the villain are really easy to understand from the get-go. I mean, he's charismatic in the role, he's fine in the role, but I think ultimately the material just kind of like breaks down, and it's like it's a again perfectly capable Tron movie. I think Leto does a pretty solid job here. It's a rare star turn from Jared Leto, right? Usually he's doing supporting work, often recently, right? Like with prosthetics and things like that, right? Like House of Gucci, of course, Suicide Squad, right? But this, alongside Morbius, are the two biggest star turns Jared Leto's really had as a leading man. And yeah, I didn't mind his portrayal as Ares because it's supposed to be a flat character by design, so Leto doesn't have to do a whole lot, right? He also doesn't have to go over the top and do anything super crazy. Shout out Cameron Monaghan, who plays a synthetic program, as they're called, a computer program. He had like a one scene role before he gets killed. And I think that actually scene's pretty cool too. It's like the visualization of hacking, right? Where Dillinger's hacking Eve's corporation Encom, and we're watching Ares and his other program colleagues infiltrate this virtual world. That was pretty cool, pretty clever. I would have liked more of that. I think ultimately just the premise of doing stuff in the real world is less interesting and certainly less visually compelling than what happens in the first two Tron movies, where we're doing everything virtually in the grid. It was super cool when Ares goes into Flynn's old arcade and goes to this 80s style grid, and you get that the rounded edges and the neon color palette of 80s aesthetic and things like that. 80s Tron, that was pretty cool. I think the conversation that he has with Jeff Bridges in the program is it's fine. It's nothing super great, but nice to see Jeff Bridges, of course. So yeah, Tron Ares, it's aggressively okay. Let me know what you think of the movie, though. What you like most about it? What you dislike most about it? Let me know. And for more movie reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.